Hey, welcome into East Texas Now. I'm Kyle Owens, taking over the East Texas Now desk just for a brief moment. We have a very special guest with us, Wills Point native, professional angler Jeff Sprague. Jeff, how are we doing today?
It's great. We got a little rain in East Texas, a little cooler weather, and we got a trophy to bring home. So I don't know what else we could ask for.
Listen, that trophy is massive. He brought it in today, and we got to. Well, I'm sure we'll get it on here eventually, but he brought it in today. I tried lifting it up, had to use two hands. Sprague came in here and just grabbed it one arm and just walked it in. But hey, let's talk about that. So it was the Patriot Cup, the Folds of Honor Patriot Cup in early Texas. 3 different lakes used, right, or just 2?
We just used 2. Okay. We've had a drought in Texas. Obviously, we know that. We started out in East Texas there in early Texas, right in the Brownwood early area. They're great area out there, guys. We're very hospitable here in East Texas, and I'm very gracious to be from this area. But I'm telling you, those guys out there were they in true Texas form and spirit, they pulled out all the stops, red carpet, phenomenal people out there. If you ever get a chance to go fish the area, the shows in the show that you'll watch that we caught a lot of fish. It's a great area, a lot of deer hunting out there. Yeah. Everybody in East Texas knows, so Brownwood's not that far of a drive. Please give them a look and go out that way.
Well, let's talk about how you did out at the tournament. So on the first day, Team Coin, by the way, you and Brian Thrift from North Carolina, I believe?
Yeah, Brian's from North Carolina.
Okay. And so both of y'all were out there, and you caught 7 fish on the first day in the elimination. Brian caught 4. You finished in second place, but that's the last time you finished in second place. Knockout round, finished in first place. I believe there was a total of 17 fish for over 30 pounds, and then the championship round won first place with a total of 28 fish, 51 pounds. Second place had about 43 pounds, so about 9 pounds over them. You, slow first day. Second day, 15 fish. Third day, 20 fish. What was working out there?
I'm very fortunate. We were catching these fish on a swim jig. And a lot of fishermen will know what a swim jig is. If you're not familiar, it's basically just a lead head with a little skirt on it, and it mimics a bluegill, like a brim. I found that these fish were feeding up shallow on brim. And then basically what I did is there's a trailer that I have released with Lake Fork Lure Company here in East Texas. If you're not familiar, it's right up there at Lake Fork. It's a brand new bait that's come out, and it mimics a bluegill exactly, like a fleeing bait fish. And those fish were just up feeding, and it was a magical week for us. And we wound up catching a lot of fish, even a lot of smaller fish that don't make the score tracker and so on and so forth. But a tremendous week there, and I can't ask for anything more.
So now I know fishing is a lot of, I'm out there by myself on the boat doing it. So team fishing, what's the different aspects that go into fishing with a partner as opposed to just fishing by yourself?
Well, everybody knows when you got a partner, it's not about your decision anymore. And then when you put yourself in that situation to where you've got 2 professionals that are in the boat together, 2 very hard-headed men that are very good at equal craft, but different, because not every fisherman fishes the same way. Brian's a total different fisherman than I am. I like shallow power water fishing, power fishing, and Brian's more of a let me find structure, pick it apart, and catch every fish there. So our contrasting styles really worked well together, and it was a great week. So it's definitely different being in the boat with someone like that, but it also allows you to be fluid and bounce ideas off one another, and it's a lot of fun. It really turned out to be a great deal of fun.
How many times have you done, is this your first team fishing event, or how long have you been doing team fishing, and have you always had Brian as your partner?
So this is the 3rd team series event that's ever been hosted, and they hosted 2 earlier this year. Brian and I actually competed in the second one that they had in Wisconsin. We didn't do so well there. We fished the same way we did here, maybe not the same exact stuff, but we fished well, but it was a different fishery. And to explain, there was a big algae bloom, and we missed the area of the lake. Okay. So, and that's the thing that goes into fishing. It's not just luck. There's areas of lake that'll be better than others, and we didn't find it in time. By the time we found it, everyone else had a little bit of a head start on us, and we didn't have time to catch up. So this was our second event. We fished well together. We're like brothers, so you can say what's on your mind if you feel like getting, jiggy and saying, man, this is crazy, we need to do something different, then nobody's getting their feelings hurt.
Right. And that's the mark of a good team. That's
Absolutely.
How you have good teammates there. So now I know this past summer you were in East Texas kind of touring around on a promotional tour. Yep. How did that go? Did you have fun seeing kind of all the East Texas kids and other anglers coming up to you? How was that?
East Texas is so special. And yes, we do a tour every year with Keystone Light, Miller Molson Coors, and Keystone Light, we sell a tremendous amount of that beverage here in East Texas. And these people, they're me, they're us. They're the same as me. We are all related in some way, fashion, or form, if you will, by brotherhood or whatever. And everybody loves to fish. So, we do a tour here. We do about 16 to 20 events around all the Walmarts in East Texas, and we give back, just hand out things. We give away grills and fishing tubes and all kinds of stuff. So next year, look for that in the summer, which we do that usually around August. Anyone that is not sure, just check out my Facebook page or my Instagram. We'll post those dates as it gets closer, and love to see anyone come out and visit.
All right, now you've got your $20,000 richer, $40,000 prize for both of y'all. Y'all split $20,000 apiece. And then what's coming up next for you, though, down the road?
So this was my last Major League Fishing event for the year.
Okay.
But I will leave the end of next week. I'm headed out to South Carolina, and I will have to deliver Brian's trophy to him there because he flew out of DFW and couldn't take it on the plane with him. So I'll head out there, and I'll fish an event with Ion Batteries, which is just an invitational. They invited the top 5, or the 5. You had to finish in the top 5 in an event at a certain level to be invited to the event. So we're looking forward to getting out there and fishing that in about 10 days.
Now, Jeff has brought in the trophy. Let's get a look at this on the camera. I mean, look at that is massive. That is a massive trophy. Dev, I'll let you do the camera work here to try and get that on the screen. But that is it's quite the go ahead. Yep.
She's got a trap door there. It's amazing.
No
there
one
it
saw
is.
That,
Showbiz.
Look at, I mean, that is. Let me get my hand out of the way. That is
beautiful.
Massive. So it's the General Tire Team Series, Major League Fishing, the Folds of Honor Patriot Cup Challenge. Did I get all the sponsors in there?
You got it.
Okay.
And it is special because Folds of Honor is a big deal. If you're not familiar with Folds of Honor, please check them out. It's a great organization for veterans and so on and so forth. And being a veteran myself, I'm a huge advocate of that. It's just something we can't forget about. We all sleep at night because of a veteran that's putting his life on the line somewhere. So that's a big deal to me.
Absolutely. Dev, you got any questions for Mr. Sprague here?
I'm in awe of this trophy. I love it, but I'm more in awe if we could pan down here.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna
Here
do
you go.
it.
Can you show us the footwear, Jeff
Here we
Sprague?
go.
There it is.
Look, I'm sorry, guys.
If you don't already know, here we go. We'll do this box here. If you don't already know, every time Jeff has been on, he has worn. Here it is. Boom. Flip-flops. And so we had a bet going on this morning between Kyle and I. If it was going to be, here we go. Da-da-da-da. I'm also zooming in so that we can get Jeff's face in the perfect shade of red right now as we're talking about his toes. Now, every time he's on the desk, we talk about you wearing flip-flops. And so Kyle and I had a bet going on if you were going to wear flip-flops this morning because it's inclement weather. And you said...
The perfect time to wear flip-flops is inclement weather.
But not for long periods of time.
Not for long distances.
Not long distance. Short distance, inclement weather, the perfect flip-flop.
Nobody wants to sit at their desk with wet feet, right? No one wants to go to work with wet feet. So if you have shoes on and you're jumping puddles and you're doing you're going to have wet feet, and they stay wet longer.
But do you want to sit at your job with your toes out?
His job doesn't.
My job.
Okay. You don't have the typical stuff. Last question here before we go. You said sometimes if you want to get jiggy on the boat, can you show us how you get jiggy, Jeff?
This trophy's awful heavy. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a lot of moves. I might have the water sprinkler, the lawnmower. That's all I got. You guys aren't.
I love that. Next time you win a trophy of this size, we need a congratulatory dance.
When we get another one, I'll have a rehearsed dance for you.
There we go.
All right.
The ETN desk. Kyle, thanks for joining.